This is the WJTS News. In tonight's news, Jasper drug arrest. Jasper man arrested for theft at Ferdinand construction site. Jasper Police Department plans aggressive driving patrols this March. Kurt Guxell will be in with sports, and WJTS Inform continues. On our Monday with the Mayor segment, we speak with Lagodi Mayor Noel Hardy. All to come on WJTS TV News. Good evening. I'm Jenna Schaffer with the news. The report and investigation of a suspicious person and activity at a Jasper business early this morning led to the arrest of a Jasper man on drug-related charges. Shortly after midnight this morning, officers with the Jasper Police Department responded to an establishment on Newton Street in reference to a suspicious male. When police arrived, officers spoke with an employee at the business and located 38-year-old Jeffrey Davis of Jasper in the men's restroom, where police say a syringe was found containing a narcotic substance. Davis was placed under arrest and charged with a level 6 felony count of possession of a narcotic and an unlawful possession of syringe. He was taken to and booked into the DuBois County Security Center. A Jasper man serving as a temporary worker at a Ferdinand construction site was placed under arrest after he allegedly stole a drill from the area. Around 4 o'clock Friday afternoon, officers with the Ferdinand Police Department were contacted by workers at the New Scenic Hills Care Center construction site along 700 block of Sunrise Drive in Ferdinand, where a temporary worker, identified as 28-year-old Daryl Harris Jr. of Jasper, was believed to have taken a drill belonging to Allstat Plumbing. Harris was later located driving westbound along East 5th Street and was pulled over at the corner of East 5th and Georgia Street. Police say Harris was in possession of the drill worth $400 and a pair of batteries for the drill valued at $80. He was first taken to the Ferdinand Police Department for questioning and then taken to and booked into the DuBois County Security Center in Jasper on a level 6 felony count of theft with a prior conviction. Ferdinand police were assisted by the DuBois County Sheriff's Department. Spring is just around the corner, and as temperatures rise and winter ice and snow recede from the roads, Hoosier drivers are tempted to increase their speeds and take more risks behind the wheel. The Jasper Police Department and about 230 law enforcement agencies across Indiana are warning drivers of increased patrols this March for aggressive driving violations. Over time, traffic enforcement is funded through National Highway Traffic Safety Administration grants administered by the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute. In a release, Jasper Assistant Police Chief Aaron Pearson says the rules of the road are not only the law, they are designed to help everyone reach their destination safely and efficiently. Pearson says by warning drivers of aggressive driving enforcement. He says their aim is to prevent unsafe driving and save lives. Failing to yield the right-of-way is one of the top causes of crashes that lead to injuries and deaths. Following too closely and unsafe lane movement violations are also among the top causes of crashes. Other aggressive driving violations include unsafe speed, speed too fast for weather conditions, disregarding a traffic signal or sign, and improper passing, turning, or lane usage. Young drivers, particularly young men, are more likely to be engaging in unsafe driving behaviors before a crash. Statistics and more information are in the most recent Crash Fact Book and Dangerous Driving Fact Sheet that the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute publishes with the Indiana University Public Policy Institute at trafficsafety.iupui.edu. The rain stayed away at the annual Petersburg Freezin' for a Reason Polar Plunge this past weekend as teams arrived at Prides Creek Park in full uniform or costumes to raise money for Special Olympics Indiana. Law enforcement agencies from around the area came out in full support of Special Olympics Indiana. Over 170 people showed up to the beach at Prides Creek Park on Saturday afternoon, with 20 teams to brave the chilly water as the event marked its 5th year in Petersburg and its 20th year to be held in the state of Indiana. Francie Smith, South Regional Manager for Special Olympics Indiana, had high hopes this year with their fundraising goal and was not disappointed as preliminary numbers towards the end of the event were over the $54,000 mark. That total had not yet included the donations at the dinner following the polar plunge and the auction held at the meal as well. Smith said the money raised during the polar plunge will benefit all those who are associated with Special Olympics Indiana, with funds going towards local chapters who participate at the county and state events held each year. Special Olympics Indiana is a not-for-profit organization that provides year-round sports training and athletic competition in more than 20 Olympic-type sports for children and adults with intellectual disabilities. Funds raised by the Petersburg Polar Plunge will be part of the money that funds more than 12,000 athletes across Indiana, as Special Olympics Indiana receives no federal or state appropriated funds and relies entirely on corporate, civic, and individual donations. For ways to get involved with Special Olympics Indiana, visit their website at soindiana.org. The Dubois County Cattle Association and Purdue Extension Dubois County will host their annual cattle meeting Thursday, March 14th. The event will focus on developing cattle traits and characteristics for market needs, with the meeting beginning at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time at the Southern Indiana Purdue Ag Center near Dubois. Speakers and topics will include Joe Higgins, cattle buyer supervisor for Tyson Fresh Meats. He will speak on traits and characteristics wanted by area cattle markets. Representatives from ADM, Mormon's Feeds, and Hope Equipment Incorporated, sponsors for this year's meeting, will discuss services available to cattle producers. Reservations to attend are required by March 2nd and should be directed to the Purdue Extension Dubois County office at 812-482-1782 or duboises@purdue.edu. Last week, Naval Surface Warfare Center Crane Division hosted its first ever STEM Day at Westgate Academy in Odin. This open house targeted to middle school and high school students highlighted various capabilities of NSWC Crane with hands-on demonstrations from Crane engineers and technicians. Last year, Crane STEM programs reached more than 6,000 students and 100 teachers and 30 schools. With this single event, attended by more than 800 students and teachers, Crane reached 20 schools within the first 2 months of 2019, more than half the number it reached in all of 2018. Tina Closer, head of NSWC Crane's STEM program, says they typically host tours on base for this age group, but says their STEM program has grown so much that the demand for tours has increased past their capacity. She says they decided to host an open house where they can present technology in approachable ways and relate it to other schoolwork. One of the biggest hits of the day was the counterfeit detection and catapult competition. Teams able to detect the counterfeit item via microscope and launch the catapult the farthest won. This exercise covered projectile motion, materials composition, and engineering design skills. Closer says students are not graduating with STEM degrees in the numbers they need them to right now. She says events like this are a great step in making students aware of the careers available right in their neighborhood. She added that having the next generation of scientists, engineers, and technicians to pass their knowledge on to is vital for the work they do at Crane. Vincennes University has earned the distinction of being on the 2019-2020 Top 10 Military-Friendly Schools list produced by Victory, a veteran-owned business. Now in its 10th year, the Military-Friendly Schools list has come to set the standard for higher education institutions to provide the best opportunities for veterans and their spouses. Institutions earning the Military-Friendly School designation were evaluated using both public data sources and responses from a survey completed by the school. This year, 766 schools earned the designation. The 2019-2020 Military-Friendly Schools list will be published in the May issue of GI Jobs magazine. The list can also be found at militaryfriendly.com. Stay tuned, weather, sports, and inform, all still to come on 18 WJTS News.